So I've been in education for about 35 years. And I have to say that in my time, I've seen a lot of different paradigm shifts come and go. But I really do believe that AI is a moment that's very unique in many ways because it's not just having a huge impact and offers lots of opportunities for improving education, but it's actually been a part of what we've been doing for many, many years. And so I'll talk a little bit about that. But what I want to talk about as well are some of the use cases that we see being implemented today in AI in education. But really, I think Satya, our CEO, says it very well here about how we have this great opportunity to really drive powerful impact with the use of AI. For Microsoft, when we're building our education platforms, we start really with this primary focus of enabling equitable education. And when we do that, there are ways in which you can make sure that your platform is inclusive in the way it's designed and also simplified and secure in the way you build the IT. So you want to build a platform that really starts with that as a major premise. Within that, then you can start to enable things like personalized learning, improving accessibility, defending and making sure that your technology is being protected and secure. And then within that, we can start to drive some of the bigger impacts of accelerated learning, improving efficiency, and helping prepare students for their futures. So it's really by starting off with this major set of principles that we can build a platform that does that. Today, when we look at how AI can actually impact education, there's lots of use cases that are being contemplated, and many that are actually being explored and used by partners like Authentica and others around the globe. So it's really exciting to see a part of that. What I wanted to do was spend just a little bit of time, though, talking about three very specific use cases that we see taking place. Ones in which we see teachers using AI to save them time to run their classrooms more efficiently. A second, where we can actually drive more personalized learning. And then third area, where we're actually seeing how the technology can be used to improve the operational efficiency of the school systems themselves. So when we think about how we could help educators save time, there's lots of different ways in which this could happen. And I want to also ground this towards the end of my little conversation here about how this can actually be part of the ViewSonic experience that you're also getting using Teams on the platforms that ViewSonic provides. But when you think about it, there's many, many different kind of examples that could be used in ways that AI can help model answers, provide assessment and faster ways in which it can be accumulated and defined. But what we've seen is that in some cases where schools are actually deploying our technologies around AI, where they're saving real time, more than 9 hours a week in some cases for educators, where they've been able to use Copilot to create more robust learning experiences and run their systems more efficiently. So this is research that they did in a number of PSCs, and they've just started rolling this out now across Brisbane Catholic education for 12,000 faculty and staff. When we think about personalized learning, there's certainly lots of different ways in which AI can and is being used to deploy and support that. One way we see is, how many of you, by the way, use Teams or use Microsoft platform? How many of you are aware within that there's a set of resources called learning accelerators, including reading progress? Yeah, good. Reading progress is a great example where AI is being used to help save teachers time. Because what it enables teachers to do is to assign a reading assignment to a student, and then the student can go into the system and record their reading of that assignment, and it tracks how well they actually say the words, whether or not their articulation is correct, if they're skipping words, if they're dropping words or mispronouncing words, etc. And then it provides an analysis of that impact and that actual performance. In this particular case, what we're showing is how AI has been used to enable this teacher to create very specific lessons and reading passages for students that challenge them with some of the words that they've had troubles with before. So a great example of how AI can actually personalize the experience for students and help them learn in areas where they may need more help. EdChat is a really interesting example of where in South Australia, in Adelaide area, where they've basically built on our Azure OpenAI platform a set of chatbots and tutor systems that are helping their students be more prepared and challenge and learn more rapidly around the content that they're studying. So it's been rolled out quite effectively, and it's actually had some really great and positive impact. Likewise, at University of Sydney, we've seen where they've used Azure OpenAI technologies to build out chats and tutoring systems that are very personalized. And in fact, they've just announced something recently called Cogniti, developed by University of Sydney, that can actually be used by universities or schools themselves. They put this on GitHub, so it's an open source area, but they can run it on their platform as well. So it's a really interesting and powerful way in which the AI technology is delivering a tutoring service that's personalized for the student themselves. So the third area that I want to touch base on is how the AI technologies can be used to help schools run more efficiently. And I've got a video that I'm going to show that talks through something, but the audio is terrible here, so I'm going to try and talk through it as I show it. But when you think about it, what's really powering AI? What are the things that make AI more, impactful? It's the data itself. It's the data that you have. So you want to be sure that the data that you're extracting and using your AI technology to support is safe and secure and not necessarily being used by outside models to actually inform those LLMs. So we actually can do that. But when you think about it from an education standpoint, the number of signals, the number of data, and the amount of information that can come from all the different services that are being used in schools across the globe is extraordinary and can create some really, really neat opportunities. So here's a video that actually kind of shows how Power BI Copilot is being used to help an institution analyze how its faculty and staff is kind of the model here, or the notion, is actually being performing, and whether or not there's attrition rates, what's actually causing some of the challenges. And the graphs and the models here are basically being manipulated through generative AI and through a real language interface. So a great example how the technology is being used to give greater insights into what's going on within the school system itself. So I'm going to just kind of skip this because it's kind of hard to see it. But the point is that this is a great example of where AI is being used to help schools save time, save money, run more efficiently. So again, when I first started, I talked about how AI has really been around for a while. And many of you probably, if you're using speech to text, if you're using autocorrect, if you're using other technologies like that, you will have seen and know that actually AI has been a part of our lives for decades in some cases. So it's really because of that I believe strongly that AI is in a position where it's going to really have an incredible impact, is already having an incredible impact in education. Now, next couple slides, I'm going to share some examples of how AI is actually being used and can be manipulated and used by you today in teams to do various sets of things very specific to education. So we have, for example, a thing called Classwork, which helps educators generate modules within AI or lessons and activities. This is the type of service that was helping Brisbane Catholic schools, for example, save time for their educators. They could actually build lessons using AI on the content and on the curriculum frameworks that they have in place. So you can see how it could go in. You could indicate what your subject is that you want to study, what grade levels you want to support, what languages you want to support, et cetera. And then it will help to create content for you. Likewise, we built into Teams access to generating assignments and instructions. So again, great technology usage here that's very personalized in the way in which it actually enables teachers to go in and select the content that they're covering and assign it to their students accordingly. Another example is where we're actually enabling teachers to generate rubrics using the AI technology to drive greater assessment and track greater student progress. Again, also then leading into that impact around personalized learning. So you can see how it actually enables a teacher to go in, create a new rubric, make a change, and then assign that to their students. This is, again, the reading progress example that I showed earlier. So what I wanted to kind of wrap up with and maybe land on here in total is just an idea of our framing, if you will, around the different ways in which you can use some of the platform technologies and AI services that Microsoft makes available for you today. Some of them are pre-built into Microsoft services, whether it's for Microsoft 365, Copilot for Microsoft 365, whether or not it's some of the learning services or your ability to actually build your own AI agents and bots using our Copilot and Azure OpenAI services. So there are different ways in which you could do that. And the ways that some of the things I just showed you already are kind of examples of each of these three different buckets or areas in which you can use these technologies. The learning accelerators that I mentioned before, these are available to you today in Teams for free. worldwide, global, no extra charge if you're using our team platform. So it's things like reading progress, math progress, reflect for student well-being, speaker coach, and as a search progress coach. So great tools and technologies that are available to you today. We have also a set of industry accelerators. And these accelerators were used for the South Australia example, for example. A quick and easy way that has sample code for you to get kicked off and start using AI for your particular needs and services. So as we do that, of course, we want to make sure that we're very thoughtful about making sure that the data we're using and the way it's exposed is secure and protects and adheres to privacy requirements or principles. So that's you can be confident that Microsoft's embracing of that is sincere and serious. It's good. Certainly, our approach to responsible AI principles is something that we drive with our own usage of this technology, as well as the partners that leverage our technologies as well. Last thing I want to touch on are just a few things that would maybe help you in terms of your own thinking of how you'd want to use AI. So we have a set of 5 core pillars for AI readiness. This is a link to a white paper that could help you create some of your own governance around that. If you need copies of the slides, I'd be happy to share them with you afterwards. But really what you want to do is be thinking about your business strategy, your technology strategy, the AI strategy experience that you want to drive within that, and have that fit within your own organization's culture with an eye towards AI governance. So the other set of resources that I think might be of value to you today is our AI toolkit, which is available on the web. It's, again, available to you. If you go to the site where that's accessible, what you'll find is it's a very robust document that's got a lot of live content. It's updated regularly, more than 150 pages. It's got information about how technology is being leveraged around AI frameworks, getting started around AI. It's got some sample governance models as well as research, and actually pointers to some case studies of where that's being used. So this is a great resource that's available to you on the web. Each of these would be links to where those case studies and where the technology is being used today. Likewise, I would ask you to, if you want to stay connected and up to date, track our Microsoft blog. We have many announcements, quite a lot. One of the things that I have found certainly is AI is moving so rapidly. Keeping up is one of the greatest challenges. So it's good to maybe tag that and refer back to it as we make new announcements. Last but not least, right across the hall in the South area, we have our Microsoft booth as well. I invite you to come by and see a lot of the technologies I talked about there being used by our partners as well as Microsoft examples too. So with that, let me just say thank you very much. Microsoft's mission to empower every person and organization on the planet to achieve more translates directly into education, and that's our commitment to you as well.